I'm here on the job site with Dale, who's a framing contractor.
Hey, good morning.
Dale traded up to Geico Commercial Auto Insurance for all his business vehicles. We're here where he needs us most.
Yep, they sure are.
We make it easy for him to save on all his insurance needs, all in one place, with coverage that fits his business and bottom line. Oh, I shouldn't have looked down.
It's all right.
We're so far up here.
Look at me. Take a deep breath.
Oh, I'm good. So good.
Get a commercial auto insurance quote today at geico.com and see how much you could save. Get more with Geico.
Hope for tomorrow, good enough today. Oh yeah, hope for tomorrow, good enough today.
Hi, everyone, and welcome to Good Enough Today, the podcast where we share stories of how people show up authentically even when life gets messy. Today, we have with us Veshell Greene, CEO of United Way of Central Texas, a mother, a wife, a daughter, a community leader, and a woman in our community that's trying to do her best and showing up today. Veshell, how are you?
Good. It's a heavy day, but it's a blessed day. It's a heavy day, but blessed day.
You know what? I'm glad that you said that because that's all about what we're going to talk about today. And of course, how I start off every episode is, what is your PEM today? How are you feeling physically, emotionally, mentally on a scale from 1 to 10?
Physically, I feel great.
Okay, what's that?
Scale 1 to 10. 10.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Emotionally, it's been an emotional day. Personally, going to see my aunt.
Mm-hmm.
She is the oldest living of my grandmother's siblings. She's 93.
Oh.
And so leaving tomorrow, I'm flying to Florida to see her with my mom.
Okay.
Professionally, just having the floods around and how so many families have been affected just by doing what they normally do, going out and camping, going out and communion with their people.
Mm-hmm.
And just to end in tragedy. And then how do I connect those people that need something with the people that want to provide something? So that's it emotionally. Mentally, it's heavy.
Mm-hmm.
It's heavy. It's a lot of blocks to check. But I'm going to show up.
That is the goal. That is the goal. I think that sometimes we think about how we get into different roles, right? So you're the CEO of United Way, and that's huge, by the way. Congratulations on that. That's huge. But I think that people don't understand that as you get to different levels, you still have the hard things that you have to go through, right? So how would you say, what does good enough mean for you right now in the season that you're in?
Good enough is getting dressed and getting into the office.
That's fair.
No, honestly, I was just telling the team the amount of decisions that I have to make on a daily basis leaves me exhausted at the end of the workday. The decisions that I have to make don't necessarily only impact me or the staff in this building. It impacts the community. Mm-hmm. And so if a campaign isn't doing well, that means that's less money that can go and fund this initiative to fill this gap of childcare center, domestic violence shelter, food pantry. Food pantry is a big one, and so if there's less that's being collected, there's less to give, there's a bigger gap.
I hear you.
So again, it's not it. I have the weight of people that I don't even know on my shoulders, and they don't know. They don't know me. They just know they like getting their taxes done. They trust getting their taxes done. If that program, if I mess up on the grant and that doesn't get funded, 2,100 families that participated in the tax program this year would not be able to get those taxes. That means $2.6 million in refund wouldn't happen. That $800,000 in earned income tax credit would not happen. So it's heavy.
I hear you. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about Veshell Greene, before she was CEO of United Way, how do you get here? How did you get to where you are now? And then what we're going to do is we're going to strip all those titles away. And we're going to talk about the person that you believe that you are and how do you show up authentically in this space so that you can do the things that you believe are within your purpose and be good enough for today.
Here's the deal. There's this test that we had to do when I started here in DISC. I don't even remember what the name of the test is, but there's your natural and their adapted self. And my natural self and my adapted self are very similar.
Really?
When I was offered this full-time permanent position as president, our board chair says, Veshell, you're not position driven, you are mission driven. And so my mission is the same, whether I have a title or I don't have a title. I'm the same person. I'm going to connect you with resources. It might look different. You know, it might look different. I'm going to try to help you. I'm going to listen. You're going to laugh. We're going to laugh. We're going to dance a little bit, you know. But my authentic and natural self is the same as my adapted self. I don't have to code switch.
I hear you. Okay, this is good.
I don't have to code switch. Sometimes I might have to dial it back a little bit because people just don't know me and they don't know how to receive me. But what you see is what you get. And I'm the same in my family. In my family, I'm sister mama.
You're the person that's been bossing people around since
I'm the person that fixes everything.
Yes.
Sister mama. At home, I don't always have to be her. And I like that. My husband, I feel like we're a good team. And so where I am, I don't want to say lacking or where I need a break at home, he picks up pieces and that's where he operates. That's his best operation. And I love that. So like when we go on trips, he plans all the trips. Like he might say,
that is amazing.
Yeah.
No, I love it.
He says, where do you want to go? I say, I want to go here. Or sometimes I just say, you pick. He will find the best hotel. Sometimes he'll give me hotel options. Hotel options, he'll find the best airfare. He makes sure we got the best car. Not the best car, but the car rate.
Yes.
And then once we get there, I'll figure out where we're going to eat. Figure out activities.
Okay.
We work together on that. So I just show up. Really just show up. And that takes trust. That takes trust. That means that he has shown up. So now I don't have to always show up.
Fair enough. Now, when you talk about you having the same mission, regardless of if you are United Way or if you're just Veshell, right? Where did that mission come from? Where do you remember a time where you were like, you know what, this is who I'm going to be, or this is who I am? How did this develop?
Honestly, I ignored it for a long time. My dad was in the military brat, and spent a lot of years in Germany. While I was in Germany, went to out of town. My first out of town dance, Schaffenburg. First heard It Takes Two, and I was like, "What is this?" But I loved it, and I'm like, "How can we go back and do out of town dances?" Well, we need money. Well, where do we get money from? We raise it. How do we raise it? We go to the shop at and bag. Okay, so got together group. We bagged at shop at, raise money so we can go on these out of town dances. Okay, and then even in high school in Germany, I would we would organize these secret birthday lunches at people's houses. I organized dances. And I never thought that I would be organizing events in my life. And so it's, life does different things. I got married young to a soldier, and we moved. And I started college right after high school again, and then we moved, and then I couldn't afford it. But I went to massage school because that was all I could touch people, and they like it. I would give people massages, and the lady was like, "Yeah, I'll do your taxes for you." And I'm like, "Okay," And so then I went to massage school, had a massage business. My mom was my follow up. The person, she confirmed my appointment. She followed up. How did you enjoy
Shout out to
would you like to rebook? You know, if I got to pay somebody, pay her. Right?
Yes, yes.
And so did that. And then finished school, but took a job, hated it because I felt like the manager's terrible.
Yes.
And I said, let me go back to school. So we dug deep, paid for school, got that degree. And even as I was talking to the dean, and he's like, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't necessarily want to be the one that gives somebody a job, because that means I have to be the one to take it away. What I want is for them to know where to find the resources they need so that they can be presented best on paper. Again, my mom and dad were married a very long time, still married now, but at the age of 17, they had a split. And my mom, she really had no career because her career was taking care of her family. She was a great military spouse. She was a great mom. We have omelets for breakfast.
Okay.
And so she would take a job while we were at school. And so she really did not have a lot of the skills that, you know, jobs were requiring. So she had a job, worked a job, and then things happened between them. And here it is, she's now responsible for a house, 3 kids and 2 dogs, and without real job security.
Yes.
And I said, she has things to offer, but how does she know where to go to get other resources and other training certifications so that she looks better on paper? And I said that to the dean, graduated, and then I got my main job at the workforce center. And I did that for almost 10 years, where I work with military spouses, not just military spouses, military family members that quit a job, moved to the Fort Hood area on government orders. So they had to have been working. And then I helped them find a job. And sometimes it was as little as making sure they had childcare paid for to look for a job, because even though you need childcare when you have a job, but even to look, you can't take your babies on an interview. Hi, sit down. Sit down. That's not okay.
Absolutely.
You know, and so we were able to pay for days of childcare while they job searched, and then once they got a job, up to 60 days after that. Certifications, I paid for many degrees. Some of my clients from the workforce center, they still know me. You know, I've gone to many nursing pinnings. If you invite me, I'm going to show up.
Okay.
I'm a proud mama, you know, and then I get a chance to meet their families. And so, you know, I was able to take my real life experience and encourage someone else. You need to, you know, brush up on your Excel. We have free Excel classes. You need to brush up on this. Go here for that. It's free. Get that certification. Get this. Like all the things that somebody should have told you.
Yeah, to tell you that. I think that's interesting, because I feel like this is kind of what Good Enough Today is about, is that I feel like we don't talk about what keeps us going. And I don't think we also talk about what is weighing on us. And so we sit in this cylinder of just our own nonsense, right? And there might be someone like you or someone else who knows exactly how to solve our problem. But because of pride, or because of whatever it is, or fear, or shame, or guilt, whatever that is, or sometimes not even that, just not knowing, right?
You don't know what you don't know.
We don't know what to ask. We don't know who to ask. We don't know what to say. And I think that's kind of how we're Good Enough Today. Of course, it came from, but also when we talk about identifying, like you said, you know what, this job is not what I need to do. I need to find something and do something else. How did you know which way to go? How do you, I think it's probably innate in you that you can, like, oh, I need a resource. Let me find the resource. But when you didn't have as much knowledge as you do now, and just looking back to maybe a time when you were figuring it out, what made you try to figure this out? Or what made you say, hey, let me do this? And how hard was that for you?
My mom. Okay, she is a hustler. She 5'2", feisty, right? She never meets a stranger. She shows up.
I understand. Listen,
She shows up. They need leg quarters for many years because that's all we could eat. Because she showed up. I'm gonna feed you.
Yes.
It's gonna be leg quarters. So
Your kids could get free or low-cost health coverage from Medicaid or CHIP. Even if you've applied before, they may be eligible now. Kids up to age 19 are covered for checkups, vaccines, dentist visits, hospital care, and more. And if they already have Medicaid or CHIP, remember to renew every year. Visit insurekidsnow.gov or call 877-KIDS-NOW. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
now at least I cut it.
yes, at least I have two separate pieces. I understand.
But no, she really, even between all that, my family has tile business in Florida. A lot of family members have tile business in Florida. And she would, in between duty stations, she would go and work for my uncle laying tile.
Okay.
She would get on a roof and work on a swamp cooler. There's really not much that she would not try to do to figure it out. And she knew that even if she didn't know the answer, she's gonna ask. And so I'm gonna find it.
Yeah.
I don't meet a stranger. I'm gonna ask somebody for something. And then I pray.
Okay.
I pray and I say, Lord, help me. I don't know the answer. And sometimes the voice is louder. Sometimes it's softer, it's quieter. But I have to get out of I have to stop myself from thinking that I can't do it. I don't know how to do it. And I'm the first one that's going to have a talk with myself, a pep talk. I know that somebody is different. I have a pep talk with myself. I remember when I was in labor and I felt like I had to push, but I remember a labor and delivery nurse that was my massage client, and she says, they don't understand, like ladies in labor, don't understand you can't push because it's like pushing against the concrete. And that's like the baby's head if it's not ready. And I was like, oh Lord, I don't want to do that. And so I remember in labor and I was having the pains and I said, Shelly, if you don't suck it up, you're the first one to have a baby. You're not going to be the last one. Suck it up. And I did. And I was like, okay, I did. And I had those talks with myself. And I can take it from myself.
Yes. That's okay. That's one of the things. And when you talk about, and I like the way that you said that you have these talks with yourself. What about when you can't show up in the way that you would normally show up, but you still have to show up? And so how do you deal with the fact that, hey, you know what? Right now, this is what I have to give, and I'm going to give all of that, even though all of that today might not look like all of that yesterday.
It might be 30%.
Yes, 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 yes. How do you deal with that?
Honestly, just remember it's bigger than me. Somebody other than, if it's only me, I'm gonna lay in the bed. I'm gonna take a nap. I'm gonna take a nap. Tired.
I love this.
But if it's a reminder that somebody other than me needs me to show up. And that's really it. Somebody other than me needs me to show up, and you show up. And what happens is, even when you give all you have and it's at the 30%, somehow or another you get filled back up. So yeah. That's it. I mean, really, I often joke, and it's a joke, but really not.
I hear you.
I'm a self-propelled entity.
Mm-hmm.
There's something in me that drives me. Something that's in me that says I can't give up, even when I want to.
Mm-hmm.
My son says I'm like a robot. Mom, you like a robot? All you do is focus on your goals. Well, yeah.
This is interesting because I've been trying to do is put a word to that feeling or just a concept to that, because there are some days, and he talked about God, so I know that there's some days when the little voice is just the drive is this big, right? We talk about mustard seed, right? Like, it's this big, but it's enough for you to keep going. So when it's those times, do you take extra steps to say, okay, Veshell, let's take care of myself today, and then I can do this? Or can you walk me through what that kind of looks like and feels like for you, and what's your process?
Worship music. I used to work out a lot. A lot. I was a CrossFitter. Sometimes I would do 2 a day. Yes, I was a CrossFit lifting and all. Yes, gosh. Okay, that's a footage. I just sent my son. I'm gonna show it to you while we. But I legit just sent my son this last night. And so this was in step class because I get out in 2 a days, and I said, just in case you didn't see it. Let me bring it up. But I found fitness when I separated from my husband. And we were married for almost 20 years. I know, how can that be? I'm only looking like
You're 22. I got married in 2, and then I see what happened.
But I said I wasn't really happy with. I loved my job. I wasn't happy with the growth.
Yes.
And so I said, I was coming back from a trip, and I was on the plane, and I said, I can change the things that I can change. I can control the things that I can control. And let me start with working on my resume. Let me start with actually calling up my friend who was a trainer. And I called him in the airport in Dallas, and I said, Rob, shout out to Rob Stanley.
Shout out to Rob.
Because he got me going. And I said, I'm ready. He was like, you ready? And while I was sitting there, feeling sorry for myself.
Yes.
Because I felt like I was not where I should have been. I went and got my master's in 2 years while working, and half of the time my husband was deployed. And so it was like I had a boy, and it was from first grade in the end of kindergarten. So first grade through second grade, he graduated at second grade. I graduated as well, and so I said, man, my life sucks, right?
Yes.
But you know what happened? God tells you it doesn't. And so while I'm sitting there waiting on my layover flight, and it was in the night, and so we were at a place, and then our terminals changed. And there was a guy sitting behind me, and I said to him, hey, are you going to Killeen? And he says, yeah. I said, they moved terminals. We're down here. We're at a different gate now. He was like, okay. And then so, just kind of chit chat as we're walking to the gate. You going home? You going to visit? And I said, going home. I said, what about you? He was like, came from home back to, I went back home. I had to do something, testify. And I was like, oh, you ain't got to.
What are you testifying for? You get on the plane with the serial killer.
I'm sorry. But he said, no, I'm going back home. But yeah. So he tells me that his brother served in the military, got out of the military, suffered from PTSD, lived with him and his son. And one night the brother came home, and his name is Dancy. Shout out Dancy.
Shout him out.
And he says that his brother wanted to talk. And he was like, oh man, I'm tired. I'm in bed. I'm asleep. Let's talk tomorrow. And he was like, no, I really need to talk. And he was like, oh, I'm really asleep. The brother left out the room and went into Dancy's son's room, shot and killed him.
Oh no.
Came back in the room and shot Dancy in the face.
No.
All this man has is a little scratch right underneath his glasses, where his glasses rest on his face. And again, I've said, Lord, I hear you. My life is not that bad.
Absolutely.
I did not have to lose my son. I did not have to testify against my brother. I did not have to suffer this loss. thank you for putting it back into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happened. You sit on a pity party, he gonna yank you back. He gonna say, no, 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 no.
And I think that when we think about perspective, right? One thing that has been really good for me is to think about what I'm grateful for. But I know that you have worked with people just by virtue of what you do and the person that you are, when it feels like you don't have anything to be grateful. When it feels like all the things are going wrong. I lost my job. I don't have food. You're telling me I need a new skill. I don't have the time because I'm just trying to make ends meet. Or I can't get out of bed because everything in me is not allowing me to do that. What would you say is the way to kind of get past the concept of there's not any hope for me?
Here's what you have to do is stop talking to yourself. It's a fact, because yourself it can be your worst enemy.
Yeah.
Yourself will tell you you're a loser. You're terrible. Nobody wants to be with you. That's why you're single.
Yeah.
That's not the truth, though. It's not the truth. You have to really change your perspective. Again, when I was CrossFit, I hate running.
Oh, me too.
Oh, I hate it.
Me too.
But you have to do it. And so I'm running and I'm thinking about my niece. Shout out to Afton. She was born premature. She has cerebral palsy. She's in a wheelchair. Her legs don't work like ours does. Her brain is fine. Her mouth is extra fine. Her ears.
She has all the things.
Ears are sharp. She can hear a pin drop 2 miles down the road. What's going on? Oh yeah. She's gone. But the thing about it is as my legs are tired, can't breathe, as my lungs are empty, and I say, you know what? Afton would love the opportunity for her legs to be tired for running. Let me just do this one more lap. Let me just do this one more lap. And it's really being present in that moment instead of saying I have to do something. You say I get to do something. That same niece, we'll have auntie and niece time, and we spend time together, and sometimes it's hard. Sometimes it includes lifting her up. Sometimes it's back hurting. But you know what I do? Turn on the music, Michael Jackson channel. Sometimes it's the gospel channel. But we get to spend time with each other.
Yes.
So yes, I'm tired. And it wasn't all day.
Yes, she has been at work all day,
and I wanna sit down. But what I get to do is take this time and impart something in her. But what she also does is give me something. And so if you just go through life rushing to get to the next part, you're gonna miss. You're gonna miss it all, because that's where the magic happens, is in the quiet times. That's when, she can lovingly look at me and is like, thank you, Auntie, and really mean it.
Yes. Yes.
She says, thank you, Auntie, when I bring her, the peak drink from Starbucks. She loves the treats now. But
that's what Aunties are for.
That's what Aunties are for. But, it's also, thank you, Auntie, for getting me ready for bed. Thank you, Mama, for even just listening to me. My poor son, he grew up with this person, and he thought, like, Mom, I thought this was everybody's life. Football camp, you meet NFL players, concerts, he's meeting Rance Allen. He's like, I did not realize it wasn't everybody's life until I grew up, and I left, and I realized you're pretty sharp, Mom. Thank you.
I've been knowing.
And I think the biggest compliment that I can get is he puts my business card in his wallet.
That's awesome. That is awesome. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about parenting, because I'm not a parent. And I feel like there's so much pressure on parents to be perfect or to do these things. And when we talk about being good enough, And have you always, so this is a 2-part question because I switched here, but have you always been able to frame things as I get to? Like, is that something you grew into?
It was a grow into. And so even when my son, hey CJ,
Shout out.
hey there, that's my bear right there. Because what happens is, and there's nothing wrong with uplifting your daughters. We have to uplift the daughters. We have to. But there's some broken girls out there who don't know how to love. And what I don't want you to do is take my son's love and trample on that. And you have just broken down everything that I have built up, right? So every day, you know, in addition to doing the Lord's Prayer before I would drop them off at school, I'd give them an affirmation. You know?
Yeah. So since you're only 22, we'll say this is about 8 years.
And my son is 24.
The math, we got different math I got in today's podcast. But so you've been doing affirmations since he was young. Where'd you get that concept from? Because I feel like it's new, right? For most people, you see this affirmation.
Yeah, I think it's it comes from stuff that I wish I was told.
Yes. Okay.
People just think, oh, she's strong, she's smart. No, I'm not smart. I just don't give up, you know, and there's a difference. There's a difference between that. It doesn't always come easy for me, but I'm not going to let you whip me. There's 2 people that motivate me, those that say I can and those that say I can't. And those that say I can't, I got something to prove. And so, you know, him, I'd say, you know, same thing. CJ, you're so smart. You're so kind. And he is kind. He's probably one of the most kindest, generous human beings that I've ever had the pleasure of meeting in my life. He's so grateful for so much. When he was in the 8th grade, he had an opportunity to go to a new school in Killeen that they were building, early college, high school. I sat in the parent orientation and I said, CJ, I think you should go. And not because you could graduate with an associate's degree before you graduated from high school or at the same time. But I knew to get him with the Mac.
Yes.
You know, he's all about the computers. And I was like, get that computer. He was like, really? You know, so he, you know, thought about it. Him and his friend both applied. And he got selected. Both him and his friend both got selected. And so he graduated from CTC, Central Texas College, with his associates at 17. And then he graduated from high school. He was still 17, but it was at the beginning of the May and the end of May. And so I just remember telling him, CJ, I'm so proud of you. And I'm not proud of any accomplishment that you've ever done. If you do nothing else, I'm still proud of you. I am proud of the person that you are.
Yes.
You are a person with integrity, character, standards, and you're kind.
Yes.
You know, and so I tried to put that, but I'm also a mama. I also have standards. So I had to remind him.
I'm proud of you, both. Let's get it together.
Still in trouble, little boy. You know, and so really, I think it's just what are the things that I would like to have heard. Again, it's that self-propelled entity where you think, oh, she don't need that.
I hear you, because I think that one of the things that I've talked about with other people is how the drive that we have, right, to kind of do for other people are things that we wish we would have had. And so we're doing them for everyone else. And the question I have for you is do you do them for yourself equally? Because what I found is that the answer is generally no.
The answer is generally no. Thank God I have a husband that he sees the stuff that I don't know that I need. Gifts are my love language.
Okay.
And it's not expensive gifts. It's just thoughtful.
Like a pear.
Yes. I hear you. No, pears are my favorite.
Exactly.
Right. And so it's little things like a bumper in the garage that tells me to stop.
Yeah.
So I had to pull in and then I get out. And I sprayed the back of my car before because it was not all the way in. And so he bought the bumper and I was like, oh no, I know where to stop. You
So
know,
much easier.
I sometimes my brain continues to work when I should be sleeping. So I listen to something that is normally narrated so that I can like focus on the words so then I go back to sleep, tell my brain it's okay, girl. You ain't got to think all the time, right?
Bedtime story.
And so what he did was, I didn't even know that it existed, but he bought me Bluetooth eye mask, and I can connect it to Netflix, put on a documentary, and it's nighttime, and it is, and I hear it, and it doesn't bother anybody else.
Why?
I never knew it.
Now this is resourceful.
It's very resourceful. It's very resourceful. Again, retired military, Bronze Star. Again, he logistical. He's great. He's so resourceful. And again, that's why I feel like we complement each other. When I first met him, and the relationship was new, and people were like, he must be a strong man to be with you. And I was like, you know what? I am a liar, right? But his loud doesn't, it's not louder than my loud.
That's quiet.
Yep.
Yes.
And it can be loud.
I hear you. I understand.
But his where I can hear him, when I can hear him is when his loud is quiet.
I hear you. Do you ever feel like you're undeserving of the things that you have and or the gifts that you receive? And I don't mean gifts, physical gifts, but just the ability that you have or the ways to connect to people. Do you feel undeserving in any of it?
Absolutely not.
Okay, so where do you get that from?
Absolutely not. One of the things that I say is that I use my powers for good and not for evil. I have the ability again to not meet a stranger. But again, Jason calls me ABC, always be closing. So even if you tell me no, did you really tell me no? You might have said no to that. You might have said no to the $1,000, but you're gonna say yes to something else. And it might not be an actual tangible something. It might be something for somebody else. But what happens is your life is kind of like a mirror. I'm a giver, and I always get, and I does not always mean me directly. It may mean someone else. My grandma, before she passed away, she depended a lot on people. She lost her eyesight, and so she depended a lot on kindness. My niece, my mom, my son away from me, my husband. I got 3 grandbabies. Oh, I got a new grandbaby. A 4th one. Hey, Libby. There's a Bellamy, Laney, and Sebastian.
I was like, wait a minute, you got to name all the 4 because I don't want any grandkids.
Yeah. So new grandbaby. And
a brand new grandbaby.
Brand new. Oh, brand new grandbaby.
Congratulations.
Yeah. And so and so my gifts, I just know that now, I've tried to run away. I tried to say, you know what? No, let me just minimize.
Yes.
But what happens is, and they talked about it in church on Sunday, God's math is different than our math. And so he's able to take a little bit and multiply it. And so the things that I don't know, I can find out, but I, again, resourceful enough. And so the things that I do know, I am giving freely of those gifts, and those gifts always come back again, whether it's me directly or indirectly, but it's blessings just be sprinkled around, again, had a conversation with people at the bank. Can I say the bank?
You can.
First United. Shout out to First United Bank.
Shout out to First United Bank.
Dan and Paula said, Paula says, hey, I know somebody who do this grant workshop. And so had a meeting, and Dan is a big guy, but he's also a big personality with a big heart, and we immediately connected. And so I said, hey, I think I know the best person that can teach the beginning this workshop. I would love for it to be a workshop series. hands-on, not just in theory, hands-on. And so, they're like, yeah, we can provide the place, we can provide the snacks, we can provide. And I was like, okay, what am I providing? Because I'm just I was like, we can be here soon. I said, okay, okay. And so from that, was how did she know to even reach out to me? She don't know who I know.
Yes.
And I didn't really know Dr. Costello. Shout out to Dr. Costello. She did an amazing job. And so I hadn't met her face to face until we had a Teams meeting. And immediately it was kind of like love at first sight. And we all just connected, and it's our hearts connected. Our hearts connected. Sometimes people are going through things, and you have to separate their attitude towards you. Is it something that you did, or is it something that they're going through? And if I know I didn't do it to you, and you're fussing and cussing and yelling and doing all the things, what I'm going to do I'm not going to match that energy.
Yes. Okay.
I'm not going to match it. I'm going to let you get it out.
I got to ask a question on that, but go ahead. I got to turn towards you on this.
I'm going to let you get it out. And then once we figure out what it is that you need, let me connect you with those. And sometimes you can just, here at the building, you might hear a client just passionate. They're about to be evicted, and they're yelling and they're getting the runaround. And so if you hear it, you're immediately thinking, let me go and de-escalate the situation. But there's no escalating, de-escalating. They need to hear.
You're talking about you don't want to match that negative energy, right? Now Cheremma today might not match that negative, but Cheremma a few years ago, and then sometimes
you slip back.
Yes. And I think that people see us today and they think, oh, you got it together. Does it take work for you sometimes?
Absolutely. My mouth is slick. My mouth is slick. You combine growing up in a house with a smart aleck, with education, and you got a slick mouth. And before you know it, but what happens is, if I say this, is this going to help or hurt the situation? Sometimes you need to shut some people down, and that's what happens. But for the most part, this is the kinder, gentle shell here. But the other person comes out, and she don't like to come out.
Yeah.
Oh, she don't like to, but when she does, everybody's looking like this.
Yes.
Like they're the victim. No, boo-boo, you started this.
Yes. And
I let it go on. I let it go on, and I let it go on. But now we're here. And so I'm going to tell you what's really happening. And it isn't about cussing. It just involves being honest.
Right.
And sometimes the truth can hurt.
Yes. So it sounds a lot like setting boundaries sometimes.
Yes, I have had to learn to set boundaries. Because again, it's like when people know that you're a giver, they will take.
Yes.
And then you'll be depleted.
Yes.
They don't offer to give you back anything.
And it's not always malicious.
It can't. Sometimes it isn't, and sometimes it is.
Yes.
For example, somebody might say, "Hey, what you plan on doing this weekend?" And you might say, "I ain't got nothing planned." And you're looking forward to that nothing plan. Oh, well, since you're doing nothing, can you help me? No. So now I know to say, what you need. What do you need from me?
Yeah.
Because again, my time, I have to decompress. I have got to fill it back up so that I can give it out. And I often talk to my husband about our day. He works for the SBA, and he's on the computer all day. And again, he's operating in his pocket. He loves this checklist and these procedures. Like this is what he does best. But he doesn't always see people.
Yes.
And yes, I like people more than he does. But it can still be exhausting.
Yes.
And so as quickly as I can get my battery filled up from interaction, it can go down. And I'm like, ooh, I'm tired. I didn't even, sometimes you don't even realize how tired you are.
Yes.
So you walk in and you say, even know what we having for dinner. I really don't care. These pretzels look very
Yes, it's like something in my mouth so I can eat and just rest.
yeah, but it's I don't even know. We often joke. I said, I need to stay at home mom. It's like, to who?
Yeah.
You know?
I just buy maybe to fuck me.
And I don't, but see, we travel. We go places, and sometimes it's at the spur of the moment. But it is one of those things where I do like to do nothing. I do pray. I do listen to some good music. Sometimes it's worship music. Sometimes it's a jam.
Yeah,
Gotta get it with and sometimes I just take a nap. Well,
you ever feel bad about doing that?
absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because I know, let me tell you what I know is what happens is if there's something that I need to do and that I haven't done, I can't sleep and rest until it's done.
I hear you.
Especially again, if it has a deadline, because again, the things that I have to do don't just affect me. It affects people that I don't even know. And so then what happens is once I do that, then I actually feel better, and I'm like, okay, now I can actually rest and relax and then do the things I need to do. But yes, boundaries I've had to learn to not to be quiet about them.
Yes.
To say, you know what? No. No.
No's a full sentence. I'm still learning that. I am still.
It's you can do no and
yeah. Goodness. Yeah, that's
my family knows. My family knows. Shell is on break. Are you on break? Yes, I'm on break. I'm going on break. That means in that room, we going in and out the door. Y'all know about that break. They know I'm on break. Stop it.
Yes, full break.
It is a thing.
I hear you. Okay, so let's talk about right now, and we're gonna go a couple of I call them rapid fire, but they're not really rapid fire questions. What's something that's hard for you right now?
Giving myself grace.
Ooh. See, this is why I can't be rapid fire. Hey, you answer like that.
Giving myself grace. Because I'm a perfectionist and I want to do a good job, and I want to do the good job right away.
Yes.
But more importantly, I want to do even a better job than you imagine, right? But right now in this new position, I haven't even been in it a year yet. And so there's things that I've never done before. But people are expecting me to. I'm expecting me to.
Yes.
And then I'm putting pressure on myself. Shoulder starts burning, Yes. And it's like, would you expect somebody else to do that same thing?
Yes.
So, yes.
Okay. I am really good at giving other people grace, and I will say that I'm good at giving myself grace, but it's not the way that it works, and it'll take someone else looking and say, hey, how would you know how to do that? This is the process. I always want to punch people in the face for telling me to trust the process and to give myself grace, because I mean, conceptually, I appreciate them telling me that, but at the same time, it's like, if it was that easy, I would be doing it so much easier, right? And so it's a hard concept to get through. So if any of you guys understand how to give yourself grace and have tips, please share them with me, because I get it conceptually, but it is also like, talking to yourself like you would talk to someone else.
That's exactly. But you also talk to God like you're talking to someone else. You say, I'm gonna tell you, last night, I'm disappointed in myself, but we're not even gonna go in down that road of that full story.
Okay.
But a hotel that I was looking at for me and my mom when we go see my aunt. And I wanted it, but I didn't get it when I should have got it. And then the price went up.
Oh my.
And then I was so mad, like furious, because I know better. I'm a planner.
Yeah.
Planning everything.
Yeah.
Like, I got an event in December that I got the phones for already. I got an event in October. I got the phones for already.
I need some of your I have my
Yes. So, but I did not do it for myself. I did not do it for myself. And so what happened is I was angry all night. Toss and turn all night. But what I did in between me being angry, I said, Lord, fix my heart. give me a different posture. Let me be grateful because I'm feeling like I'm not grateful.
Yes.
Let me be grateful. And you know my heart. So make a way. Lord, I need you to make a way. And so this morning I checked, the hotel was still high.
Oh, no.
It was still high.
I'm glad that
it was still high. So I came on to work and working, and I'm knocking out these things, knocking out the things, right? And I'm talking to my baby, ACJ, and said, you know what? Let me check right now, right? Because the anxiety that I was feeling has dissipated a lot talking with him. Because he's like, Ma, you're only human. Like, you know what you should be doing, but when it's all said and done, you're human.
Yes.
I said, thank you. And so I'm there and I look and the hotel price has been reduced $3 less than I first. Yes.
Oh, see, and I think that that's something that we are short-sighted, right? We can't see it, and we get all into our stuff and all upset and all these things. And the moment that you calm down and just kind of reflected on the fact that, hey, you know what, this is what it is. Let me check and see what's going on, and changes. I mean, I say that in hindsight, right? But in the moment, I'm still gonna.
It's rough.
Yes,
it's rough.
Yeah,
Again,
yes.
I was there. I have the pistol attitude all morning, but I'm still like, Lord Jesus, you know my heart.
Come on now.
Give me, you know, and help me and take this away. Like, give my heart a different posture, please, because I need to be grateful. And again, everything, it is my fault. I know that.
Yeah.
And I think that's the part that I'm beating myself up the most is I know better.
Yeah.
Shelly, you know better.
But I think that sometimes knowing and doing are not always that close together. And then also we think we have time.
Here's my baker. Shout out to Miss Tam. She keeps me elevated, the whole family elevated on the nicest, best cakes ever.
Okay.
And what she told me, I was planning my husband's birthday party. And it was some years ago. And in July, I said, Miss Tam, is it too early to put in a cake request for Jason's birthday in November? And she says, baby, it is never too early, but it can be too late.
Man, let me tell you,
that there has been like a tagline to my life. And it can be applied to so many different things. It's never too early.
Right.
But it can be too late.
Man, I think that can be applied to so many different
It's like there's different things.
There's nothing in there. I think when you talk about saying I love you to people, to caring about people, to trying to create this life that you want, right? And starting out, making that one little step. I think that, shout out to Miss Tam. That is great.
And she had her cakes.
That is, I need to give Miss Tam on here. She got
That's pretty awesome. She has a story. She is a powerful woman of faith. And she, even though I hire her to provide, she feeds more than my belly.
I hear you. I mean, just with that, she's just giving me and our listeners something to move forward with, because I think that sometimes we, again, think we have that time and it's not always the way it works. Okay, so what is bringing you joy?
The fact that I can provide, the fact that I can show up. I often say I need a better job with more money, but it's like, what do I need more money for? Like, I gotta get a house, I got, cars, I got this, and it's less of me, and it's more to help other people. And so right now, this particular time I'm saying money, but it could be advice. It could be me just listening. It looks different, but the joy that I get especially is when God is telling me something and I'm obedient. And he comes through and I'm like, God, there be more careful.
Oh, there we go.
Showed up. And again, an example of that one is my son's car. On his birthday, my husband paid for him to get his windows tinted. He's leaving from the parking lot. Transmission just goes out.
Oh.
So he takes it to like O'Reilly's or something to get it diagnosed, and it's this transmission. He brings it home on his birthday, and with brand new fresh tint, right? And it's like, Lord, this is bad.
Yes.
So he takes it, and it goes to the car dealership, the shop, to get it looked at. It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
It's
Yes.
thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yes.
And so we're like, great.
Mm-hmm.
So I drive the car home, park it. He takes my car back down to San Antonio. And my husband, talks to him. He has it towed to a transmission specialist.
Mm-hmm.
And then it says, oh, yep. It's going to be a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
And then you need all these other things from it too. So I'm sitting here saying, Lord, like, we can't really afford to put a whole lot more money in this car because then we're going to be paying for it twice.
Yes.
We can't afford to start all over and get a new car.
Yes.
I just need help.
Mm-hmm.
I just need some help. And I was coming to work, and I was driving in silence, not talking to anybody, not listening to anything. And I was just talking to the Lord. And it had been like days of me talking. I said, I know you won't provide. You really do. You take care of the birds. You take care of me.
Yes.
You know me, right?
Yes.
So driving, and then my mom and my friend Kay, hey sweetie, she they send scriptures in the mornings, and so her name popped up on the car, and I said, let me call her. I call her, and I'm telling her. She's like, how you doing? And I tell her, oh, don't worry about CJ's car. And she says, I'm gonna stop you right now. I got somebody. He works on foreign cars. Hector, that's her husband.
Mm-hmm.
He was a mechanic in the Army. He's very, very particular about who works on cars. And this guy works on Hector's BMW. He works on our BMW.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay. She gave me his name and number. Jason, shout out to Jason. Thank you, JG. Showing up, boy, showing up. He done did the legwork. CJ, he's not sure what to say, how to proceed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to say and how to proceed, but this is in Jason's lane.
Mm-hmm.
And again, there's that trust,
Yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And so found this mechanic, works in a European car shop, and says, you don't need a new transmission. Has a leak. But what if I called somebody and didn't spend that time talking to God? What if I was listening to music and didn't spend that time hearing God? What if I did not call Kay when God said call Kay, because her name just popped up?
Right.
And so again, it's those things where a voice is loud and it's quiet all at the same time.
And I think that really goes back to us talking about, what if you don't say something to the person that could hear it, that could help you? Because if Kay had asked you, how are you doing? And you were like, oh, I'm fine. And you hadn't told her what was going on, then you wouldn't have gotten the resource that Kay had that was able to help you in that moment. And I feel like when we talk about the community that we can build, I'm not saying go out and tell everybody your business all the time, but I think that sometimes you have to be vocal about what's going on, because there are people who can help you and who are willing to help you, and it's not burdensome for them.
What is the shame? And that's what happens is people feel like, oh, I'm ashamed.
Yeah.
Ashamed of what?
Yes.
Being vulnerable?
Yeah. I remember I am a recovering averse to vulnerability. I don't like vulnerability.
I carry all the bags in at the one time.
Oh,
I'm gonna make one trip.
That vulnerability is, and
So that's what I'm saying. I'm strong.
Yeah.
Because I'm taking all the bags.
Take it all. And so you just don't think about like, hey, you know what? And then sometimes I don't think it matters, right? I think that it's such a small thing that I shouldn't mention it. And then when it's a big thing, then it's like, well, nobody wants to hear all of that, right? And I think that what you're saying, though, is important, so that we share with people. So especially the people that are close to us, right? So that they understand what's going on. And maybe they might have the answer that we've been looking for all throughout the time. So I think that's a powerful message as well. You're dropping some gems.
You gotta go with your gut. If it's saying talk, if it's saying listen, if it's saying
Yeah, I ignore my gut every time. I regret it. Oh, I regret it every time.
I'll tell you, it's I challenge you.
Oh, okay.
I challenge you. I challenge. Instead of saying the no or ignoring it, go with the yes.
And see what happens.
See what happens.
I mean, I have a whole podcast now, so.
And go with the yes. Again, and I go back to the line because I love the line. They don't talk. They communicate, but they trust that gut.
Yeah.
They hear a predator, they see prey, like they trust that process. And when it's time to protect their cubs, when it's time to move, when it's time to get, to higher ground, they do it.
Yeah, you are not wrong. Okay. If someone was struggling right now, what would you tell them?
Ask for help and be honest. And again, don't ask the person that you already know is struggling themselves.
Okay.
Don't ask the person that you already know that may not have your best interest at heart, because misery loves company.
Yes.
I told you not to be with him. I told you. Nobody wants to hear that.
Yes.
But the struggle, overcoming the struggle, again, it takes strength to be vulnerable. It takes strength to be vulnerable. And that is a fact. I am not a vulnerable person. I can ask everybody for everything. It's very hard for me to ask for something for myself.
Yes.
I'm doing better with them. But I have a great team. Shout out to my team here at United Way. They are amazing, and they sometimes, they always ask me what I need, but sometimes they see what I need without me knowing that they're watching me see what I need.
Yes, I hear you.
Just fill in the gaps, and so they're amazing. They are amazing. And but what I'll say is, again, just be honest about it, because why are you struggling, and what is really the problem? Because what often happens is you do things that you don't realize that you do, and it is a form of protection.
Yes.
Again, you don't even realize. I got examples all day. I'm not just saying do something because I'm just to say do something.
Right.
I'm saying do something because I do something.
Yes.
Years ago, I came across this young lady that was singing a video that my friend Shake Madness and he shared it, and her name's Rose Short. Dynamic, unbelievable voice. And I said, how have I been here and she's been here and I don't know her?
Yes,
like we haven't crossed paths. And so then she went on The Voice. And I was like, I love her. And, you just feel like you know her, right? And so I'm telling all my friends and family, vote for her. And so when she came back, a friend of ours was putting together a welcome home concert. And I remember being at the table with at my mom's house. And I said, I want to be on her team. I never met her. I want to be on her team. Okay. So I said to the friend, hey, tell me what you need, whatever. And so then she said, what about like a key to the city? And I was like, really key to the city. The proclamations. I can reach out to the mayor's office. This is what I do.
Yes.
And so we got the proclamation. I got it, picked it up, put a nice frame, went to the deal. I also worked that event, like, stage manager, because I do a lot of things.
Yes.
And I met her, and when I first met her, I started talking to her like I knew her already. But it goes back to say, I want to be on her team. And here we are. I'm working with her. And then we crossed paths again at a lunch and a women's networking event. And I was part of the event. And so one of the benefits was going to lunch. And so I brought my mom and my niece, and she performed. And so and made sure her mom was together because I had seen her before. And then it was time for her to sign autographs. And her then manager was taking care of the band. And I was like, how can I help? And she says, go help Rose. The line was all the way, like the whole to the end of the building. And I really like told her, I said, hey, you're right. We met before, but I'm here to help you now today. And she says, okay. And I turned my back to the line and I'm facing her. And I said, sit down and I need you to sign about 5, 6 of these, autograph these photos right now. Sit down and do that. And she says, okay, what about the line? I said, no, don't worry about the line. Don't worry about the line. And I said, hey, give us a minute. We'll be right back. She's communicating. And so she gets up. And so I'm cutting the line, right? Snap, snap, snap. Okay, sit down. Sign a few more. And she is like, you're amazing, And so then with her concert, first of many concert series, or should have been in this now 2020.
It was 2020.
And so her first concert of a concert series sold out weeks before the event. And I'm working the front and charging the front of the house. See how I got on the team?
Yes.
I'm working the front of the house. So I got my people there together and they know what kind of shift I run. And everybody even said it. Oh my gosh, it was so great from the beginning to the show was great. And everybody was so, we're going to be nice and professional. Until we don't need to be nice and professional.
Absolutely.
Yes. But the thing about it is you say it out loud. You say, I need some help. God will send you somebody to help you. He will send you something. And so you just have to trust the process. And it's tough. It's tough, especially when you can't see it. And show his hand to you.
Ever.
And the things that he has in store for you are beyond your wildest dreams. And this is what I know. I'm bucking against this system less. Once, because again, I did not want this position.
Okay.
I said, this is too much.
Yes.
It's too much pressure. I was already kind of doing all this anyway, but I'm like, no, it's too much. I don't want this pressure. And I was heavy from September all the way to the end of January, heavy. And then once I said it out loud, put my name in the hat, it lifted up. And then once it got offered, it was gone. And it's like, times are tough for me every day, but I got people that are dependent. People that I don't even know, much less the people I do know. I'm going to take care of you because I know you. But the people that I don't know.
Yes.
You got to show up.
Absolutely.
And so for those people that are feeling like they don't have it together, nobody does. But you got to get away from you and get around somebody else. Go exercise. Go be around some kids.
Yes.
Do something other than sit and wallow in your misery.
Yes.
Because you're going to be more miserable.
Yes, you are your worst company sometimes. And oh my gosh, that is so true. And I'm an introvert too. So my first thing is to isolate. Isolate. And I'm like, oh, I love being by myself. But sometimes
you need a different battery.
Yes. Sometimes that is a dangerous position because the stories you can tell yourself about yourself can be the opposite of what you need. And sometimes, just hearing somebody else, they might not even tell you anything profound. It just switches up, turns a switch or flips a switch in your brain. Where you be like, oh, I was tripping. Yeah. I was tripping a little bit.
And it really does say, why are you trying to eat the whole elephant?
Yes.
You eat it one bite at a time. You don't just, no.
Yes.
Let's break it down. What's the problem right now?
Yes.
Let's figure that out. And then we get to the next problem. Then we get to the next problem. And so, but that's the way I look at a lot of things. I like to provide solutions.
Yes.
I also don't mind if you're venting. And I know the difference between you venting and you trying to figure some things out. And so it's tough, but you have to get away from yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes it's around people that you love.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's around strangers.
Yes. I think that is that's a great segue into this whole concept of good enough today, right? Is that we may not be what we think we should be, and we may not be what we want to be tomorrow. But right now, we're good enough, and I think that we've had a great conversation. So thank you for joining me today. But also understanding that the United Way is here to help. There's resources. United Way of Central Texas, but of course there's United Way in your area. Make sure you're reaching out if you need help. There are people like Veshell and the people that work with her who will help you and provide resources to you and just be there to understand what your issue is. And I promise you, if Veshell doesn't know the answer, she is gonna find someone who knows the answer. And I think that is a profound thing for as far as resources go. But as far as people go, right, to have someone who's really invested in people is something that I think that people have to understand, that there's still a lot of good in this world. Even with all the craziness that's going on, there are a lot of people who want to do good and who want to help each other. And I think that's something profound. And I have to remember that myself. I think that we look at each other and I'm like, oh, Veshell has got it all figured out.
No, I don't.
And I have zero.
I just had a meltdown. Like 5 minutes.
Exactly. And we just like, yeah, that happened, and then we just move forward. And I think that I always say all I got to do is put one foot in front of the other and move forward. And sometimes that step is real small, but we have to keep going. And I think that is something that we could leave our listeners with. And so, how do people get in touch with the United Way?
The best way is on our website, UWCT, United Way of Central Texas.org. If you're wanting to volunteer, there's a volunteer tab. If you're wanting to know more about our services, which we have, our biggest one, 211, shout out to our 211 ladies, Diamond, Latoya, and Crystal. They cover 7-county region. And they connect the people with the resources in that database, and so even if you want to volunteer for that, we take volunteers to get on the phones, because people never call you. Call 211 when they're having a great day. They're calling when it's a rough day, and it's mentally exhausting at the end of the day for these ladies a lot of the times, because people are crying, they're scared, they're desperate, because they don't want to lose their home, their kids, people are hungry, and so they don't know where to turn. But they're so patient that they can hear what you're saying and they're hearing what you're not saying. And so there's 211, and then we have free tax preparation program. Always looking for volunteers for that. We train you. It's an IRS-based program, and we have locations all the way from Cove to Temple. We have a prescription program called Bridges to Wellness and Health. It's in partnership with Baylor Scott & White and Temple Community Clinic. And we pay for, again, prescriptions, durable medical equipment, transportation for people that are either uninsured or underinsured. And we're able to do that once in a 12-month period. And so oftentimes it's, again, a bridge, a gap. And it's not used to be in place of healthcare. No, it's in place. It's there. So when the healthcare does kick in, we had a client that had throat cancer. And so he had a trach, and they did not have money for trach supplies. And he had surgery coming up. And so he could not get more supplies, but he could not keep the supplies that he had. And so he was referred to us, and we were able to help him with those supplies. And then they underestimated how much they needed. So he had to come back and get some more in that a little short time.
Yes.
And so that's an opportunity, again, where we were able to collaborate with Baylor Scott & White, with this client and his family and his wife, to make sure he was taken care of holistically. And so that's not paying for the surgery, but it's that gap in between.
Absolutely.
And then we have literacy programs. We're reading. We have volunteer opportunities. Day of Caring in October. And so we go out. Last year was our most ever, almost 600 volunteers over 2 days. 34 projects. Big deal.
Yes.
Big deal. Our VITA program, we got recognized in the month of June. United Way of Central Texas got highlighted across the nation for being a great VITA support. And then we're up for an award because we provide tax preparation for our servicemen and women on Fort Hood. So I feel like the 24th is the virtual award ceremony, and we'll find out if we won it or not.
That's awesome.
You know, so how do they get uwct.org?
Awesome. Awesome. Please. If you are struggling with anything, of course, we are a community over here at Get Enough Today. So like, subscribe, follow, but also if you need services in Central Texas, the United Way of Central Texas is here to help, and also understand that they are under great leadership with Veshell, who has a heart and a mission for helping people and can set boundaries too. But always remember, though, that even if you aren't what you want to be or what you were yesterday, you're not what you're going to be tomorrow, that we can stay hopeful for tomorrow, but understand we're absolutely good enough today.
Hopeful for tomorrow, good enough today. Oh yeah, hopeful for tomorrow, good enough today.